Bonjour everyone, welcome back. I just finished cleaning my litter box, and since you're already here, let's talk about something that all cat owners have to suffer with, which is obviously litter box smells. This video is going to go through all the methods, hacks, and observations that I have learned throughout my journey of owning cats and living with cats in an apartment. The solutions mentioned here are ordered from most effective to moderately effective. Now I live here in this approximately 30 square meter apartment with 4 cats. That means smells are going to be concentrated here. So if I don't have any solutions or ways to minimize the odor, I'll probably be on the floor gurgling because of ammonia poisoning. 4 cats also mean that I have to deal with at least twice the amount of poo and pee that typical cat homes have to deal with. So let's get to it. Nothing trumps frequent scooping and cleaning. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it because, well, innately humans are lazy, and I'm also guilty of it. If I skip scooping or cleaning for one day, the next day is going to be hell for my nose, and I know it. Cat owners have to decide on what they can take in terms of odor and stick to a plan to clean and scoop as often as possible. I clean my litter box once every morning, and that's enough to take care of the smells for the day. Keep watching, as there are more things that I do to keep my litter box smelling fresher for longer. Now, depending on the litter type that you use, they're going to have different odor absorbing properties. Each litter type will also have tracking properties. And for the people that don't know, tracking is basically how much the litter spreads throughout the room. Probably you've found a few pieces of litter here and there on your bed or in weird places that you'd never expect. So the key is choosing a litter type that has the right balance of odor control and minimal tracking. For those that want to learn more about litter tracking, you'll find it in the description or this card coming right up. This is the odor ranking for litter types from the most odor absorbing to least absorbing. The most common litter is sand or clay litter, and that's usually the best for odor controlling when it's fresh. The longer the sand is in use, even after scooping, the stinkier it smells. After a few days, owners will have to dump out the whole box and replace it with entirely new sand or litter. That's because sand loses its ability to clump over time, and the pee-soaked sand litter actually stays in the box. And it tracks like a monster. It literally gets everywhere. Crystal litter has the same issue. It's great when it's fresh, lasts a little bit longer than sand or clay litter, approximately a week to 10 days, but eventually you have to dump out the whole box and replace it with new crystal litter. Pine pellets, the litter type that I'm using right now, has a little bit less odor control than sand or crystal, but makes up for it through efficient use of the litter, meaning you never have to dump out and replace it completely, other than the times you give the box a deep clean. It separates the soil dust through sifting and scooping. The unused or unsoiled pine pellets stay on top. Also, it doesn't track anywhere near as much as clay and crystal litter. Next is tofu litter. Probably the worst in terms of odor controlling, and has the same issues of having to replace it every few days. It clumps well and can be flushed down the toilet. Because tofu pellets are quite large, it doesn't track as much as crystal or sand litter, and it's quite easy to spot, so you can vacuum or sweep it up quite easily. There are of course other litter types, but these are the main ones that most people are going to use and the most accessible around the world. Litter box placement is also an important part of the equation. Whenever a cat does their business, smells are going to linger for a short while as the litter does its job at absorbing the smell. We can help this process along by putting the litter box in a place where there's going to be ventilation. Some people put their litter box in front of large windows or near balcony areas. I put my litter box near the door. Why? Well, that area is meant to be a little bit dirty. It has ledges that contain the litter that might pop out of the box, and I can open the door a tiny bit to let out the bad air. A lot of people might even have door screens, which is even better. There are a lot of things you can add to the litter box to help with odor control too. If you need some extra freshness, think about adding these. One of the most common things to add to the litter box is baking soda. Some litter brands even contain baking soda already in the mix. And here's a pro tip: add some baking soda and mix it with water into a spray bottle. It makes it easy and quick to use whenever you need some odor suppression, and prolongs the baking soda so that you don't have to go and buy it as frequently. When you eventually do a deep clean of the litter box, I recommend using a vinegar mix because it actually neutralizes the ammonia. Thus, it's more effective at getting rid of that urine smell. For the people using pine litter specifically, if you make your own coffee, add those coffee grounds, used or unused, to the bottom of the sifting tray. This also helps a lot with absorbing that ammonia smell, plus it gives you a nice coffee smell. Be sure not to put it on top of the litter because it can be harmful to your cat if they ingest it accidentally. No matter what type of litter you're using, at the end of the month, give your entire litter box a deep clean. Cat urine contains urea, and bacteria breaks that down into ammonia. Ammonia can actually eat away at the plastic from your litter box, and that's usually where odor bacteria like to hang out, which makes some smells linger even if you already scooped or sifted. So giving it a more thorough clean will take care of that. Last but not least, invest in an air purifier with a carbon filter. Air purifiers are great for taking out dust, hair, and particles from the air, but carbon filters can actually help take away odors from the air, and it's especially useful in places that don't have a lot of ventilation, such as my small apartment. Hopefully this has given you some ideas and has helped you develop a solution in your home. And for the full article on odor control, not only in the litter box, visit monsieurtien.com, which you can find in the description.